Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hello, Professor. Good to see you there. Harry, this is Professor. You do your defense against the dark arts teacher.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, please.
I'm not sure I got the right person to tell you that.
Can you hear me, everybody? Yeah, no, you can't. Okay. Can you turn that TV down, babe?
Yeah.
How about now? Can you hear me? April, yes. Okay, good. Good. All right. Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Carol's in the house. Doug is in the house. All right, April, welcome in. Marianne, yes. Whiskey River, good morning, everyone. Carol, hello, Doug. April, good morning, everybody. Great to have everybody. Just give it 1 minute. See if anybody, see when the others come in. And we'll go ahead and start off. Good to have you all. All right, let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. It has been a very bad day, news weekend. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on. People unaliving. Lindsey Graham, just out of the blue, 71 years old, the Jurassic Park guy, ended up going ahead and becoming unalive. Doug says, for the record, it was Mavs who blocked and timed you out last night. Yeah, I kind of figured that's what it was because I heard something, him saying something, but, I just left. I left. I was like, whatever. I really, truly was trying to just hear a little bit about RN and see what his whole issue. And I was saying hi to everybody that was in there. And then next thing you know, I was blocked. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, no worries. I'm not done anything thinking about I appreciate it. I think Jim, who's normally in our channel, why did you guys block Double Dog? And then it all came out. I think if he had not said nothing, no one would have said anything, to be honest. Good morning, DD. And chat says, hell, welcome. But thanks anyway, Doug. I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, I kind of figured it. I mean, I was just telling everybody hi, so I couldn't imagine getting blocked for telling people hi. It's all good. But thanks for letting me know. Tusi, good morning, DD and Chad. My day off. Glad to see you early. Bright and early, everybody. Bright and early. Bible, the red, white, and blue hearts. Good to have you. It's hard when the chat is going so fast sometimes. He meant to get someone else and got you instead. Yeah, I didn't know. Like, yeah, I didn't know. I was like, whatever. You know, not the first time, won't be the last time, I guess. Marianne, I said something. Thank you, Marianne. Appreciate that. Carol, hello. Good morning, Carol. But thank you, everyone, for noticing and saying something. I do appreciate you guys. Really do. Very much. Good morning, Carol. Please hit the like and subscribe. Everybody share it. Let's get that algorithm going. Bible Carol. I know everything. RN asked why. You know, Marianne, I even asked the question that I was hoping you would ask is, could you ask the question when they said, "Has anybody got questions?" I was like, "Could you ask the question, please, if he knows Annie Guthrie and Tommaso Cioni?" I didn't get a response, so I don't know if he ever asked that or if anybody ever asked that. But I thought I'd go ahead and throw it out there anyway. I really wanted to know what he would say. Doug says, "I know everything RNS." Oh, Lordy mercy. Cicely, good morning. Good to have you. Bible, good to see you. Marianne, yes. Did they ever say anything? Did he ever acknowledge? Because I know I asked a couple times and I thought, okay, forget it. But you're right. I kind of felt like, man, I know what you guys are saying. You know, sometimes you ask questions and you don't get no answer, and you're like, what the hell? Am I like invisible? But it was all good. All good, guys. All good. No doubt. Hello, Cicely. Never been to Arizona, said Doug. L. Cicely, good morning. We might be going back there, but I'm not sure. But we might be going back there here shortly. Doug, some people think I am his brother or dogs. It's wild. Wow, really? Honestly, I don't see the resemblance, but hey, never know. Possible, I guess. That's bad for you, no doubt, right? I know so much. I must be related. Marianne, I also asked a few times. Did you get any answers? Yes, I am, Chris. Chris is in the house. Welcome in, Chris. Don't forget to subscribe to Chris's channel. Let's talk with Chris if you get a chance and you're not subscribed to him. Very good individual. And my dear friend, as I call him always. You are DD, very invisible. I'm telling you. Yeah, no doubt about it. April, I will never look at a word menu the same again. L Doug, right? Right? The burger chef and all that. I was like, really? Like, here we go again with the hamburgers and the Whoppers. And what I thought was kind of a little bit amusing. L, thank you for that gift. L, appreciate you. Thank you for always supporting the channel. What I thought was amusing, to be honest, and I'm not going to lie, I'll just tell you straight up. What I thought was honest was, I could see it seemed like when Alex was asking some questions, it just seemed like it was like, really? Like, because they were asking him questions about, is Alex had asked the question, is he still alive? I mean, I guess it's the dad who raised him, right? And he's like, well, that's a good question. He goes, I'm not really sure. And it's like, how do you not know if your dad's not alive or not, or the I can't even think of the damn guys what he did, the unaliver guy that raised him. I was like, really? And Alice asked that question, and I was really shocked. I was like, what? He said, I don't know if he is. That's a good question. So I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood it or something. Who knows? But there was a lot of puzzle looks out there, no doubt about it. And I was one of them. In 1985, of course, I see you. The juice facial expressions were priceless. Yeah, all I saw the juice do is do this number, and as I'm watching it, he's doing this. I'm like, I'm getting nothing. Like I'm not catching it. I know I'm not a dummy, but I'm like I'm not catching it. And juice is like going like, yeah, yeah, as he's going down these as Nolan is going down this rabbit hole of explaining how the cipher and this and that. Juice is like, yeah, yeah. It was priceless. You're right, April. Well said. That was funny. And maybe they understood it a lot better. I don't know. But for me, after a while, I just wanted to know that big question that Marion had yesterday. Do you know Annie Guthrie and Tommaso Cione? That's all I wanted to know. April. Yeah, right, April. Like he was like, what? What? And Marianne, the Zodiac Killer. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Couldn't even think of that. Hell, Girl, he was cracking me up. He was, no doubt. But yeah, I'm telling everybody, hi, hey, Devil Pup, how you doing? How you doing, so and so? How you doing, so and so? And then all of a sudden it's like, you've been timed out, and I'm like, damn it, man, really? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it pissed me off at first, but then I got over it. I was like, whatever. Like I said before, word salad, without a doubt, Carol. Robber, probably attention seeker. I would agree with that wholeheartedly, Robert, in all honesty. Marianne, I think Alex asked good questions. He did. No, he did ask good questions, but I think he had that look like, I don't know. I had the impression that he had that look like, dude, I'm asking you questions and you're not able to answer anything because you kept saying, "Oh, good question. I'm not sure." Hey, good question. I'm not sure. And I was like, "Well, dude, you have to know. If you don't know, then who in the hell knows?" Yeah, Richard N is off the wall. People in the chat were making me mad saying stuff about Juice last night. I ended up leaving too because of the horrible things being said in there. See, I didn't see all that. I didn't see all the negativity. I remember Paycheck Pride saying something about, "Hey guys, come on, we only have 1,700 people in here. Let's click the likes and this, that, and the other." But honestly, I wasn't reading everything. I just wanted to know an answer to that question that Marianne had. Alex was asking some great questions, very brave, without a doubt. You got to be brave to be in there with no let to understand, like, try to think that something's going to make sense, at least to me, in my opinion. Robert, questions like what? Robert says, like what? I'm assuming he's saying, what kind of questions did Alice ask? I think you had already left it. Yeah, I think I was out. Oh, Lord. Without a doubt. Miss Barney, hey, dog. What's going on, Barney? Good to have you in. Yeah, it was interesting, though, because I really, truly, honestly wanted to know some things about, like, trying to give him every opportunity to giving him every opportunity for me to really honestly say yes. I gave it a fair chance to try to understand it, and that stuff is just not for me. Everything makes perfectly sense to me. I think he is truthful to what he believes. Whether or not his interpretation is correct is unknown. What's true? Look, if I believe something, if anybody believes something is true, they're going to defend it to the hilt, right? You can make yourself believe anything is true if you believe it hard enough. The problem comes in is when you have to try to validate why it's true, and the only thing you're really getting back is, or the only answers you're really giving is, good question, I don't know. That's what makes it difficult. You know what I mean? Doug, I agree. I do think he believed it. Chris, I believe he is nuts. That's what I think. Yeah, I agree, Chris. I totally agree. Marianne, he said he was never at the lake and he was upset and mad that people were saying he was. Well, who was the one that was saying somebody was saying he wasn't that was on our earlier live at 5. He was saying that he was saying he wasn't out in front of Nancy's house, and somebody said, "Was it him?" Because I know I said, "Was it him?" And I think it was FinFan. I think FinFan said, "Yeah." He said it was him. So yeah, I think you're right, Chris. I think there's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in there somewhere. But hey, just my opinion. Hey, bro, I get what he says, but I don't get how he got there through the cyber. Absolutely. That's a good point. Because, like I said before, you can go here, up, diagonally, back, sideways, up to, and as long as you got all the letters in the alphabet, you're going to be able to spell something out. I mean, that's just how I see it, in all honesty. Nothing new came out yesterday, rehashing all old content. I kind of figured, same old stick. It's that same old thing. That's why I just wanted to ask the question because I never heard anybody ask that. And when Marianne brought it up, I thought, you know what? And I didn't see Marianne. I didn't see you in there. So I was like, I'm going to ask that question. And then when I asked it, then I saw you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So just figure, maybe he'll say something. See something, say something. Doug says it will take someone nuts to decipher a damn thing. Nobody normal is going to read it. Everyone has a misconception. In my opinion, it's not a prediction. It's a roadmap to justification, without a doubt. Well said. That is well said, Doug. You are spot on, my friend. You are spot on. It's a justification for what you're saying, and that's exactly right. That's a nicer way of saying, as long as you got all the letters in the alphabet, you can make whatever you want it to be, without a doubt. Doug with the Devil Pops. Okay, guys, let's talk about what we know today. Today, I want to touch on some things dealing with the Nolan Wells case. And the reason is because there is a little bit of news that just came out, and I was checking it out this morning. And the idea that, so there's a friend of Nolan that was on the boat. Okay, now I could barely make sense. I know his last name was Shepard. I think his first name was, Tristan Shepard. Yeah, it's back on topic. I'm sorry, Devil Dog. You're good, my friend. You're good. It's good conversation. So the idea that Tristan Shepard, I'm just going to call him Shepard because I know that was his last name. But he was friends. I think he's 20, I think. But he had said that, and this is what he said, that he was with them that day. He stated that they did nothing wrong, and yet they were being verbally attacked because everybody on social media was coming after them, or not literally, but figuratively, speech-wise, social media. He stated that they were friends and no one wanted to see Nolan unalive. He also stated that, which was interesting, he said that we all cared and loved Nolan. And then he said his life was taken so short. Then he stated the person yelling, apparently to Shepard, the person yelling about the phone, saying, "Give me my damn phone." He said it was him. It wasn't Nolan that was in that discussion or that argument. It was him. Someone had his phone, and he was the one yelling, which I thought was very eye-opener, because to me, if it was him, and he would know because you're going to know if it's him, if that is found to be accurate, then that takes and alleviates that situation that he was in an argument right before, a little bit later where he became disappeared and then became found unalive. So that was really news to me because now someone has come forward. But I think I asked myself this question, and because of law enforcement, obviously, I asked myself this question. Why did you wait so long to say that? You know, if you had said that from the beginning when everybody was saying, that's him, look at the YouTube video, that's him, you know, and honest, truly, nobody really would have known, but they did say law enforcement was looking into that. If he would have just said, no, no, guys, everybody, I was there. That was me. That wasn't Nolan. That would have squashed that completely real quick. That theory that maybe it was him that was in that confrontation. And I think the thing about it was because everything made sense. Well, if it was him and then he didn't have his phone and his friends had his phone, it was just lining up just right. Like, how did his friends end up with his phone? But if he had said this sooner, that no, that wasn't him, that was me. I was the one yelling to give me back some, knucklehead took my phone and I was ticked and I was saying, give me my damn phone, give me my freaking phone, or whatever the case may be. This is what happens when you don't try to clarify the things you can clarify. You let people run with different things. Not saying it was him or isn't, not saying he's telling the truth or he's not, just saying that if it was him, it could have answered a lot of questions and dismissed a lot of the thinking process that a lot of people were having, to include myself. April, please hit the subscribe if you haven't, everybody. Carol, it's one I watch many times. Gene is in the house, DD and mods and chat. Good to have you, Gene. Marianne, hello, Gene. Yes, Barney, and struggles to stay on topic. Good morning, Gene. Doug, who is the mystery woman? The mystery woman is everything that's showing me is Katie McCormick. She was the one that's saying she saw him get on the boat. So on one hand, she's the one that is talking, apparently, from everything I'm gathering, she's the one talking to Nolan, the one that, and even Shepard said, the friend said that he had met her out there, and he kind of really liked her. He didn't know her, but he really kind of liked her, and so that's why he stayed back to talk to her. However, McCormick is saying he never stayed back. He told me he had to leave with his friends. He took off. I saw him run to the boat and get on the boat. See, that's a specific thing. I saw him get on the boat. Okay, that's now that can be proven if everybody was to turn their cameras and videos that they recorded or saw him running and somebody happened to capture that. You could prove that detail. I saw him get on the boat. And then if somebody took a picture of that boat leaving and he's not on there, guess what? What she said means nothing because he wasn't on the boat. You follow me? So the key is going to have to be, was he on the boat? It's a simple yes or no. I don't know how anybody can mistake that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying when I say I don't know if Shepard was telling the truth or not. I'm just saying because they both had different assessments as to what they saw, apparently. On one hand, you go, well, Shepard will know he was on the boat, right? And on the other hand, you go, well, she would know because she was talking to Nolan, and then he told her he had to leave, and he ran to the boat, and she saw him get on the boat. It's one of those things. So once again, if I'm Shepard, I am going to say that from the very beginning just to squash any noise, if in fact it is true. Doug, who is the Mr. Lady? Jean, Marianne, hello. Carol, hello. Jean, April, Doug, that's what I went to know too. Jean, hello there. Carol, hello. Pam, hey, DD and everyone. Good to have you, Pam. Carol, hello, Pam. Good morning, Pam. Marianne, hi, Pam. Pam, hi, Carol. Tusi, do we know anything about the girl that Nolan wanted to stay with? Other than it appears that it's this Katie McCormick. That's who it appears is the one. As it appears, no, we don't really know a whole lot about her, and I haven't Googled her or tried to figure it out. I will. I will. That's my next step is to Google these individuals' names and see kind of like what But apparently, they have switched a lot of things. The three friends of Nolan on the boat went ahead and put their stuff on private. So now you can't just go and look at their videos and their Instagrams and whatnot because they went all private, which is kind of like odd because you would say, well, what are you hiding? Right. Then again, maybe they didn't want to get a lot of messages, nasty messages calling them, whatever, every name in the book. I can also understand that as well. Tushy, Pam, hey, L1985, Marianne, Doug. So there's a discrepancy. Who is lying? Right. And it's going to come down to whatever literally they can find. If anybody is putting out videos or trying to help law enforcement, you're going to have that information. Hopefully, nobody does. And nobody comes forward and no one says what they saw. Because there was a lot of people there, right? They would have saw this. If nobody says what they saw, thank you, Pam, for the gift. Appreciate you. Thank you for always supporting the channel, my friend. The idea is that, if in fact someone does send some information as to when they left, what time they left, and they do kind of like a timestamp as to the events of what happened, they're going to be able to figure that out. And when they do, they're going to know probably a good guess who's not being truthful. At this point, I don't know. Because one is saying he's on the boat saying he never got on, and the other ones are saying the other girl he was talking to says, no, I saw him get on. So did you really see him get on, or did you just see him walk that way? I don't know. I really don't. Whiskey, what about the pics of him at a pool party earlier morning, July 5th? Yeah, I didn't see any of that. Pics at a pool party on July 5th. I didn't see anything of that. So if you got pics, Whiskey, share them out, send them to me or something. I would love to see them. I have no idea. I didn't see any pics of him at a pool party July 5th. Doug, yet another boat mystery. Seems all too familiar. Without a doubt, Doug. Well said. April, I don't know if I believe the kid that it was his phone. Nolan's mother said his Snapchat and Instagram was deleted. A lot of videos were deleted, and she doesn't think Nolan would do that. Mom's going to know their son, right? You moms, you all know, your kids. You know their behaviors, you know their tendencies, you know what they do, you know what you see every day. So you're going to know. Is it an odd thing if he did that and that's not his character? Absolutely. Here's the one thing I keep coming back to in all this. I still want to know why they had his phone. Why did one of them have the phone? Because I'm still on that question. When the mom got a call at 11:30, something in there, asking by Warren, asking if he had come home yet. I don't know what the response was, but I'm assuming it was no, he's with you guys. He could have said at that moment, hey, Mrs. Wansley, I just want to let you know, okay, I was just checking in to see if he had made it back. I just want to let you know, we have his phone here and his keys to his car. If you want to pick those up, you're more than welcome to. He left them here or he left them on the boat or whatever the case may be. If he had said that, once again, that would have squashed that noise. But because that was never brought up, maybe he forgot, maybe he didn't think about it, but that's a pretty big forget. That's a pretty big thing that could have been stated one way or the other. You know what I mean? And so that's the question I asked. Why did they have his phone? Why did he not one. Why did the one kid say to the dad that he didn't have the keys when he really did? I mean, was the kid really that intoxicated that morning or whenever the dad went down there? Was he, how you wake up and you're like, you don't know what the hell happened? Is that a possibility? Once again, I'm not making excuses for either which way. I'm just saying, calling the balls and strikes as I see it. And in law enforcement, that's what you have to do. You have to call it for what you see and let the information sort itself out as it goes on and plays out. But that's a very good point, April. Gene, in my opinion, I feel sooner than later someone will talk. Without a doubt, Gene, I agree with you 100%. One of these kids, if not two of the kids, somebody's going to talk. Or maybe even a parent will say, you better come clean, son. You know what I mean? So I think this is going to get resolved and pretty damn quick before it gets out of hand. Pam sent the floating heart for 10 joules. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate you. Doug says, I'm sure Ellie has the devices and they made things private to protect integrity of the case. It's very possible, Doug. You would hope so. And I think you're right. I think they do have a sense of keeping that kind of tight. But yeah, those things could have been answered if Shepard had just said from the beginning when he came on and he spoke to the individual from Good Morning America, and he said, "Hey," he said, we were all shocked and that he went they found him unalive and we loved him and blah blah blah. And by the way, that yelling and screaming was not him, that was me. I mean, he's putting himself in the line of fire. I'm not sure anybody would throw themselves to the wolves if, in fact, they weren't the real person. You follow me? Because now if you weren't and you're saying it was you, oh my God, you definitely are putting yourself, if they find out different, for better lack of words, your ass is grass, so to speak. So I can see that. That's what gives me that hesitant to hold back on my thoughts a little and see what exactly is unfolding here, because there's two contradictions. Good question and good point, Doug. Hell yeah, the friends could have been attacked, in my opinion, and just thought it best to lay low. It's very possible, Al. Once again, it's not like these kids are super, like they know how things work in life, right? It's not like they know how things work in life. So it's very possible that's exactly what was going on. You know what I mean? April, thank you, Pam. Doug, smells like I know what you did last summer. There you go, right? I watched all of them, and yes, you were very right. To see no cameras around. There wasn't well, a lot of cameras were around. A lot of not cameras per se, but a lot of phones were around. So no, there was a lot out there. Whether or not law enforcement is going to get those, that's a whole different story. You know what I mean? That's going to be kind of difficult, in my opinion. Whiskey Crumb shared them. Yes, he did. He shared a lot of what he knows for sure. But once again, that big contradiction, that's a huge contradiction. I mean, on one hand, like I said, you're on the boat, you know who the hell was on there. And on the other hand, you know why he left and you say you saw him get on the boat. You know what I mean? It's so you gotta really, sometimes you gotta pull back and let the case play out to really start seeing where everything is developing. L21 watching, 15 likes. Let's get it, everybody. Click the likes, please. Let's make it happen, everybody. Let's get that algorithm going. Thanks for being here, says L. Pam, L1905, thank you for reminding me to like the video. I forgot this one of those days. You're good, Pam. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. L. Pam, no problem, and thank you. I hope your day gets better. Marianne, wasn't he reported missing late on the 4th? If he showed up at the pool party on the 5th, wouldn't someone say that they seen him? Without a doubt, Marianne, that's a good point. I think when they called I think when they and don't quote me in this because I could be off, but if I remember, supposedly the mom said that Warren called. That was one of the kids that was on the boat to see if he had a ride, and he called at I think that she said 11:30. And I think when he didn't show up, she kind of had this weird feeling. So I think she could have reported him missing, 11:30, 12 o'clock. It very well could have went into the fifth, you know what I mean, that morning. Still for us it'd be the fourth, but it's really the morning of the fifth. But still saying that, that's a very possibility. You would think other people would have saw him at a pool party if in fact he was there. I don't see anybody screaming out, "Hey, I saw him," that type of thing. So makes you beg and ask the question: was he even there, or are they just creating the narrative? Once again, more distractions, kind of like what we've seen with in the Nancy Guthrie case, and for that matter, in many other cases we covered. Very good question, Marianne. Very good question. Carol, there's the Amazon wish list, everybody. If you'd like to help the channel, Carol, there's the Venmo. Thank you, Carol. April, there you go. Thank you for posting all those things, everybody. April, Dee, there's the PayPal, Cash App, and whatnot. If you can, if you can't, don't worry about it. Without a doubt. Also, everybody, just so you know, in case you don't, I am thinking about going to. I am thinking about going to Arizona, and I may take a drive down there. Here in, if this case hasn't been solved by then, here in early November when it's a little cooler. I'm thinking about going out there and checking it out myself, just kind of looking and, like Chris said on the interview room, in law enforcement, you always want to get that look, that feel. You want to be there. You want to be able to analyze it and look at what you're seeing to get an idea of what you're thinking. And he's spot on. And I think I may be doing that. So that will be early November if I decide to do that, which is very probable. I shall be going out there, I believe, and checking it out. So I just wanted you guys to know that. April, analyze or how to get away with, yes, unaliving someone. Yes, that was a good movie too. Good show, should I say. To see the autopsy will tell a lot. Absolutely. It's going to tell you the amount of water that was in his, where he actually probably most likely, for a better lack of words, drowned. Or it's going to show you if there was any trauma or hits or thumps that he had that could have caused him to, be knocked out and then, become unalive with that. It's very possible. So that's a good point, without a doubt, Doug. And Tusi, thank you guys for those questions. Gene pointing up. Gene pointing up. Did I miss Gene? Gene. I just want to make sure I didn't miss Gene. In my opinion, I feel sooner than later someone will talk. Okay, was that? Doug, when a group is lying to drip information to comfort the narrative, because you don't know what others are going to say, in my opinion. That is very true. Look, it's no secret that, the more you muddy up the waters, the less you can see in the water, right? So in this case, the more you muddy up what happened, the less you're able to kind of try to figure out everything. You can still obviously do it, but it just takes a little bit longer. And that's a very good point, Doug. April, there's the email, everybody. Doug, conform to the narrative. That is correct. Whiskey, sent the pig. Hope I got the incitement. This was an Whiskey says, sent the pig. Hope I got the right devil dog. Me too, everybody. April just put my email like 2 stops where you're at. If you go up 2, that's where it's at. But I'm going to check it real quick just to make sure I got it. Just making sure I got it. And it's not there. I still haven't got it yet, my friend. Let me check this other one here. Maybe it's here. Just want to make sure. All right. Well, I'll look here in a minute. I don't want to distract the channel here. I'll look here in a minute, my friend. I'll check it again. Gene, I agree. The autopsy will tell a lot, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And Doug, indictment. I hate spell correct. Right? Doug, damn phone is putting words in my mouth. So that's the other thing, was the fact that literally that's what he had said, talking about Shepard, the friend of his that was on the boat. But he did state that me was yelling. He also stated that in an early afternoon he took a boat back with the other friends while Nolan stayed behind with the girl that he had met. Then he said they met that day, and it's kind of those things he did come off that day that he really did like her. But that was the only time they ever hung out. So he's saying he didn't know who this was. He just met her there for the first time. So that was the new information. And then he talked about at like a moment that he started, there was a disagreement between Shepard and his girlfriend. That's what it was. Shepard and his girlfriend got into an argument, and has been that was okay. So that was what he was saying. Shepard was saying that it was him that was telling his basically girlfriend, who got into an argument with him in the water. He was telling her to give him his damn phone back, or my freaking phone back. And that was what all the whole topic of was about, who was the one actually saying that. So I can see there's going to be a lot of sorting out, everybody. There's going to be a lot of sorting out. And this is what exactly he said. At around 3:30 p.m. on July 4th, Shepard says he was with a large group of friends from high school, including Wells, to celebrate the holiday. Shepard and his family took a boat. Shepard and his family took a boat over to Horn Island, a barrier island off the coast. I don't know if that's a misspelled, that him and his family or him and his friends. Off the island coast to the Mississippi, where he planned to meet up with the Wells. Okay, so he did come with his family on a different boat. And he said some other friends from high school, the friends often took the 45-minute ride over to Horn Island on weekends to hang out, and had been there since that morning. Shepard says he was waist deep in the water surrounding Horn Island, waving in disagreement with his girlfriend that afternoon, when a young man his age walked by and criticized their conversation. The man was an acquaintance from a nearby town who had not come over on the boat with Shepard or Wells. So then this is what he said. I told him he needed to mind his own business. Shepard 20 told me Saturday, a week after his disagreement. Shepard says the exchange became heated, and that he and the other man ended up getting into a physical altercation. Shepard's uncle, who had raised him like a father, told Shepard to get out of the water and onto his boat so they could head back home. Shepard complied, but once he got on the boat, he changed his mind and decided he wanted to go back. Shepard's friends had by that point began defending him back on shore. Around this time, another adult on a nearby boat started filming the video, later posting it on social media after news of Wells' disappearance. So there you go. A lot there, right? A lot there when you think about it. So he's having an argument in the water with his girlfriend. They're yelling back and forth. He goes, he gets another individual comes by, starts saying stuff. They get into an altercation. His uncle tells Shepard, get in the boat. We're headed back. So they get into the boat. Although Shepard jumps back out of the boat. And yeah, and the rest you guys heard. So it is very possible, very plausible that maybe Shepard is saying what happened, but Shepard did not come according to that. He came with his family to the island. It wasn't that he came with everybody else. Just want to go ahead and clarify that. Carol, Doug, Gene, Doug, I know how you feel about it. And as I use the mic and she does not listen to me at all. Doug, laughing, April, Doug, my fingers trying, don't always listen either. Doug, maybe gonna come down to jealousy or envy. Very possible. That's a very possibility. Gene, the phone issue has me somewhat confused. It's very confusing, but Shepard is saying he was the one that was at yelling at, I believe, the girl to give him back his phone, his girlfriend. Apparently, they had a riff or something, and he there was something, but he did say that, "What are you doing?" And then the comment through his phone, seeing who he was taking pictures of other girls, maybe not. Very possible. Very possible. The phone issue has me to see. I read autopsies is being done in Washington. The mother requested. Yeah, there had some issues before, I guess, in that area with law enforcement in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi. And apparently they wanted to get an independent take on it. So that's why they're looking at that. That's why they wanted an independent person, which it's done sometimes. It's not done often because it's very expensive. But apparently there was a lot of people that came forward to help out to cover the cost. Marianne, I have to get going. Doctor's appointment with a friend. Be back later. Have a great day. I'll see you. Thank you, Marianne. Appreciate you. April. Okay, Marianne. See you later. L, no problem, Marianne. See you later. Carol. Bye. So that's what we're at now. What do you all think now? Still think that he's not? Who do you think is telling the truth here? Come on, everybody. Who do you think is telling the truth here? I know you can hear me, right? Can you guys hear me? Doug says Snapchat has the truth. Yes, okay, thank you. Seemed like it went silent there for a minute. April, yes. Tusi, yes. Thank you, thank you. So, what do you think? Are you leaning more on the girl statement? Are you leaning more on Shepard's statement? I mean, he gave a pretty good detail. Remember, I told you before, like in the Nancy Guthrie case, sometimes you want to look at the details that someone says. You want to look at what type of detail. I mean, In all honesty, Shepard, he gave a lot of detail there. Talked about exactly what he did. He talked not only about the argument he had with his girlfriend, but he even gave you what exactly he did and who his uncle was, and how he raised him like a father, and his uncle raised him as a father, and he gave you a lot of details there. Got on the boat. His uncle said, "Get on the boat, we're leaving," and then he got on the boat. Then he got off the boat. He gave a lot of details, and when someone gives you details, most more than not, they know what the hell they're talking about. Because most people, if they're going to just say something, they're just going to say, "Oh yeah, I saw this or I saw that," or give you one answer, comments or questions or statements. But when someone gives you details and they're specific about the whole plan through, sometimes detail speaks volume, in my opinion, and not just in my opinion. In law enforcement, details are always seem more credible in the narrative, and it seemed like he gave a lot of details. Whether it was rehearsed, planned, or whatnot, that I cannot say, but it sounded like something like that. In my opinion, the kid saying his phone, in my opinion, that kid saying his phone is lying. And he could be. He could be, April. Very, very good point. Very, very good point. Details is always important when you're getting a statement. Chef's story changed, so I'm leaning towards the other girl, or he at least withheld information. I would agree with that. I would believe that. I would believe that he did hold information. He could have squashed it at the very beginning. He could have literally just squashed it by saying, "No, this is what happened when it first came out about the video," rather than letting it linger and linger and linger and play on everybody's mind. And then all of a sudden, kapow, go ahead and say it now. That's a good point. Very good point. Either he knows or he is protecting someone else. Very possible. April, he never said his phone until the video was released. That is true. That is a very good point, April. Well said. Barney, the devil's in the details, without a doubt. Whiskey, not sure who is lying, but I believe someone hurt that boy. And you know what, Whiskey? I agree with you. I don't think he just became accidental unalive. I find that, not that it couldn't happen, but he was on shore. So unless he went later on the boat, or went out trying to swim and went too far, I just don't see that happening. It doesn't seem likely to me, in my opinion. Is it possible? Sure, but I think you're right, Whiskey. I think there was something done to this kid. By who? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows of yet, but it will come out here shortly, without a doubt. So that was kind of like the big news, the newest update that has just come out. Um, Now you have Shepard, you have Warren. I think Warren, and it may be Shepard. Warren and I think it was Warren is the one that they lured up right away. Which I'm not sure why you were lured up, but it does happen. And maybe the parents said, "Oh no, we're getting you a lawyer because we're not going to take chances." I could see that too. April, and the keys were not turned over right away either. That is correct, April. Without a doubt, those keys were not given back to the dad. It made it seem like he didn't have them. And then when the dad called the other girl and she said, "I was there at his house. I saw him on the council," or something to that effect, that they were on the council. "I saw them." So then he goes over there again, knocks, and then this time he tells him to check the console, and he does, and he gives him the keys. I don't know how that whole, interaction went. I mean, if you would have seen it, you could have probably read his body language. Being the kid, the Warren kid, you could have read his body language, or whoever had the key, you could have read his demeanor, He could have looked to see if you looked him in the eyes when you gave him the keys or what he said. But without seeing that, it's kind of hard to know what was his demeanor. April, and the keys were not turned over right away. Tusi, I'm going for my morning walk. I will be listening. You got it, Tusi. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. So that's the only current information that I have on this case. Um, it's going to come out that they're going to, they may ask the people who are claiming this if they will take a polygraph. Now we know the polygraph, also known as the lie detector test, that's not admissible in court. But what that could do is literally lean towards one or the other, either the girl or Shepherd, either Katie or Shepherd, to figure out exactly who they have to lean on, because at what point is it saying that who of them are not saying the truthful things, right? You're gonna ask several questions, and one of those questions are going to be about that specific situation, and if that comes back saying that you're lying about that situation, then it's going to play into the fact that law enforcement is going to know, hey, we might have something here. This guy was trying to deceive us, or it says on this thing that his erratic pulsing and his sweat and all these different things that they look at were off the charts. That's a good thing to ask too. April says, if you took the keys, you would know where you put them. That's true. Well said. Tusi, I feel someone hurt Nolan. I agree with that. Honestly, I don't know who at this point, but I also agree someone did hurt the kid. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's not enough information yet until they're able to take that step next to ask, will you take a polygraph test? And then in that aspect, the parents say, well, no, they're not reliable. We're not taking it. We don't have to. Well, no, they don't have to. But it does show something that you're trying to hide if you don't take it. And if you take it, maybe it gives the law enforcement more idea of what really could have happened, right? Click that like, everybody. Click that like if you're watching. Click the like. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. See where we're at now. So that's what's going on. Um, like I said, there's not any new news on the other cases that we're covering. We're still waiting to get the toxicology reports on a lot of the cases. Nancy's, we're still waiting to get the forensics from the hair follicle, the hair testing they took without the root. We're still waiting to hear, any DNA testing that they did. Whiskey says parents said Snapchat was deleted, but the pic of him at a pool party on the 5th was found on Snap. I tried sending it to your email again. Let me look, my friend. Okay, I didn't just get it. Is this the one you're talking about? Is that the one you're talking about? Because I just got it. I guess the only thing I would ask is that the right day? Let me see what this guy says.
Unravels the entire story that everybody has been saying up until this point.
So let's listen to this, everybody.
The Wells family just dropped.
Oh my Lord, I hate when this does this.
The attorney for the Wells family just dropped a bombshell. Apparently, he found an image on social media that features Nolan Wells inland at an inland pool party, meaning not on the island, inland in Mississippi, at a pool party at 1 in the morning on the day after, after midnight, so like the morning after July 4th. This is absolutely groundbreaking and, if accurate, unravels the entire story that everybody has been saying up until this point. So Ben Crump is investigating to confirm that this picture is fully accurate. If so, this is going to turn the whole story on its head. Follow me for more. I'll keep you updated. The attorney for the Wells family just dropped a bombshell. The attorney for the Wells family just dropped a bombshell. Apparently, he found an image on social media that features Nolan Wells inland at an inland pool party, meaning not on the island, inland in Mississippi, at a pool party at 1 in the morning on the day after, after midnight, so like the morning after July 4th. This is absolutely groundbreaking and, if accurate, unravels the entire story that everybody has been saying up until this point. So Ben Crump is investigating to confirm that this picture is fully accurate. If so, this is going to turn the whole story on its head. Follow me for more. I'll keep you updated.
Well, there you go, everybody. What do you guys think about that? Thank you so much, Whiskey. Appreciate it.
I know you're live. Do you want me to send you that money?
Yeah.
We're going to send you 85, and then tomorrow, every day, we'll send you 100.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. On Cash App?
Yeah. Doug says jealousy. She's girl takes his phone in admission. Did she think he was cheating? Then girlfriend to get back at him at Shep comes on to Nolan. Shep finds out or catches them. Boom. Motive. Shit happens. Possibility. That's a good one. Doug, pure speculation. Whiskey. Yes, thank you, Whiskey. April, I don't know. Whiskey Crump reposted it. I mean, it could be.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know, how this plays out. I don't know how this goes ahead and literally, I don't know how this go ahead and plays out, to be honest. I really don't. I know that there is enough information here to go ahead and make sense of it. It's just we don't know exactly. I mean, I'm looking at this right now, and I don't know, where does it say the day? 5 days ago. Okay, guys, I'm going to play this for you. Okay, hang on a second.
And the last thing that she remembered.
All right. Hang on a second. I'm going to play this one for you.
I'm going to my friends. I'm going to leave with them.
Hang on.
Which directly refutes them saying that he told them that he was was going to hang out with some girl and going to find another.
This is the Katie McCurrick, okay?
So that's a really, the attorney. So the girl that Nolan was last seen with, her name is Katie, is cooperating with authorities and is speaking up about what she saw. And according to Katie, they hung out for a little while in the afternoon, and the last thing that she remembers is Nolan, I'm going to my friends and I'm going to leave with them, which directly refutes them saying that he told them that he was going to hang out with some girl and going to find another way to get back to the mainland. So that's a discrepancy that the last person that we know saw him alive said, the last thing he said to me was, I'm going to go back with my friends because we're going to go back to the mainland, which makes sense. You don't get on a boat to a very populated, but like hard to get to, but populated island on a holiday and just think I'm random. It doesn't really work that way. So there's so many different stories and so many different things flying around that don't make any sense. I was very glad that somebody sent me the report of the girl. They call her a girlfriend. I don't think she was a girlfriend, but the people online are calling her a girlfriend. I don't think she was a girlfriend, but the girl he met there, and she is fully cooperating with authorities and has let the authorities know that what she recalls the last thing him saying after they were hanging out is, I'm going to go back, get on the boat, and go back to the mainland. So, I'm in contact with a lot of people. I've been in contact with some of the members of the family, and some people in the local area, and some people from the school. People are sending me information, so I'm going to share it with you. I think it's very important that we are aware of stories like this because there are racial undertones in not just what happened that day, but also in the way it's being covered. And I think that it's important that we cover these things in a way that makes this family much more likely to have justice. Perhaps it's an accidental drowning. As I've also heard, the sheriff is saying they suspect it was an accidental drowning. That's an early report. I don't know if that's true or not. Or perhaps something nefarious or wrong happened. But I do know that there are many different stories coming from different angles, and I want the authorities to take this seriously, do a proper investigation, and give this family the proper justice that they deserve.
There you go, everybody. So, basically, I mean, what do you all think about that? That was the Katie girl that had claimed that he was talking to. That was the one who had stated this. Bible, thank you so much for the gifts. Bible, appreciate you. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel, my friend. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you. 350 joules sent. Thank you. So what do you all think? Let's hear what you have to say now, everybody, after hearing that. Do you guys have any different takes, spins, or whatnot? L for supporting the channel. L always. L highly doubt was an accident. I still don't buy it was an accident. I get it. They got to say that because they don't have all the information. And until they get the information, they can't just say this was someone who was, for a better lack of words, drowned. They can't say that. Law enforcement can't do that. They have to get their investigation done before they can make any accusations or charges on another individual. You got to have the facts, right? So I can understand why law enforcement, being law enforcement myself, I can understand why they would be saying that it looks like it's an accident. Yeah, sure it does. It looks like that's what they found him in the water. He's unalive. Well, sure, that would mean probably that it was an accidental drowning. It's only accidental till what? Until they got evidence that it wasn't, right? Kind of like Nancy, right? You know, you can say it's she was taken, you know, it was a ransom. It's only a ransom when people start asking for money to get her back. It's the same concept. They can only say so much until they have the facts. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he wasn't unalive because I'm sure someone unalived him. Could have been at that party. Could have been at the Horn Island. It could have been in a lot of different places. The reality is that I do get why law enforcement says that, but I think a lot of people read too much into that. They can't say this person is guilty if they don't have the facts. They can't say this person these three boys did this to him or whatnot, because they don't have no facts. It would be an injustice for them to say that. But just as quick, it's kind of like when Nanos went ahead and said in the Nancy Guthrie case that the family was literally cleared. Well, how do you do that? How do you clear the family? You can't say you clear the family. You don't even know anything about what happened. You know, it's that same concept. When you get the facts, then you can clear the family. Until you get the facts, you can't clear the family. And right now, they didn't have the facts. So it's kind of like the same concept. I hope you understand where I'm going with that. But do I think that something was done to this kid? Absolutely. Do I think somebody most likely unalived him? In my opinion, I would say yes. Do I think those boys had something to do with it? I would say probably so. They had his phone, they had his keys. I would like to know why they had his phone. I haven't heard anybody say, even Shepard, the kid who was talking, saying that it was him that was saying all this. I haven't heard him say or anyone say, well, how did you end up with the phone? How did you end up with the keys to his car? How did you go ahead and end up with this? No one has said that, right? No one has said that. So the big question is, why did his friends have his keys and his phone? Why? Why did they have it? They're saying all the other things. It was me that was in the argument. He didn't get on the boat. He didn't do this and that. But no one's answering the one big common denominator. Why did you have his phone and his keys? I haven't heard anybody answer that question, and that's huge because no young man or woman at a young age are just going to be okay with somebody else having their phone or their keys to their car when it's theirs. Not in today's world. That doesn't work. Keys, I can probably understand. They left it on the boat. Phone? Absolutely not. To me, there's no way in hell anybody's going to go ahead and leave their phone behind when that is their lifeline in today's society. That's just reality. Whiskey, no one ever said if he had any injuries. That is true. Very well said. Bob April says, Bible, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much, Bible. Appreciate that. Appreciate you always supporting the channel, my friend. April, true whiskey. Not that I have heard. Doug says, way too similar to Marley Kinney. Marley Kinney, almost exact condition is very suspicious to me, without a doubt. And that is a very good, Doug. That's a very good comparison. Marley Kinney is the same way. She goes out of the water. This is the one from Kentucky. She goes out of the water after being on the pontoon boat. Her friends go to the shore. Instead of going to the restroom, she goes in the water. She goes to urinate. They apparently leave. They get back to where they're going, and they realize she's not there. They go back looking for her. They can't find her. They do a search party. They still can't find her. I think it was 5 days later. They find her, and she's unalive. Pretty much the same, and I totally agree with you, Doug. Very similar. Was the car left behind? Apparently, the car, April, was parked at the dock from where they left on the pontoon boat to cross to the island. Supposedly, that's where that car was parked. Because when Dad got the keys back, I'm almost positive that I read somewhere where he went to that parking and got the car, Nolan's car, and took it home when he got the keys. But the idea is that, yeah, that's probably exactly where it was at. Doug, maybe left on boat to not get wet if they were planning on going in the water. Yeah, I think that logical about the keys being on the boat, that seems kind of logical. If I'm going swimming, I'm not taking my phone and I'm not taking my my keys, right? But if I'm going to be on the beach, I'm going to take my phone because I'll probably put it on a towel, on a blanket, or something that's out there so it won't get wet. But I'm probably not going to take my keys no matter what because I can't utilize my keys in anything, no way, shape, or form. My car is parked at the dock, so there's no reason for me to have the keys. I'm just going to put them away somewhere safe so I don't lose them. Does it make sense? But as far as the phone, that's coming with me. And if I go into the water, I'm not taking it. I'm going to leave it right there on the towel or wherever I'm sitting at, hanging out with my friends. Because how else would I take pictures? And in today's world, that's what they do. True whiskey, not that I have heard. Doug, way too similar. April, was a car left behind? Doug, maybe left on a boat to not, which is very reasonable. And I think that's exactly what he did. Left the keys there, not his phone. Virginia, good morning, good morning, good morning. Running late, good to see you all. Good to have you, Virginia. Thank you for being here. Hell, a lot of times people will imitate a crime after seeing someone else doing it. That is true. A lot of copycats are out there. Annie, late again. At least you're here, Annie. Good to have you. Carol, hello, Virginia. Elle, good morning, Virginia and Annie. Analyze. I know one thing, no pontoon boats for me anymore. Well said, my friend. Well said. Carol, hello, Annie. Annie, hey, Carol. Elle, good morning. Virginia, Carol, good morning to you. Barney, I still don't understand why the father didn't have the car towed by LE. I mean, yeah, I can see that, Barney. I can see what you're saying. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, no doubt. I think at this time, if he never made it back, the odds of the car having anything nefarious that would be in there probably are slim to none. But hey, better be safe than sorry. So that's a good possibility. I could see that. Good point. Well, good point. April, all logical to me until the friend says what keys. Very true, April. Very true. April, and has the keys. Virginia, good morning. Good to see you. Bible, most phones are waterproof these days. There is quite a few that are. That is true. There are a few that are. Sky Rogasto. Skylar Gasta says hello, new to the channel. Good to have you, Sky. Appreciate you being here. Hello, Didi. So glad to see you have gotten so far along. Rooting for you to become an even bigger channel. Thank you so much, Sky. We got some great mods, great people on the channel, and we are growing. So good to have you here. Simplify. Appreciate you. What is your take on this story that we are covering with the Nolan Wells case? Virginia, thank you, DD. You very welcome. Carol, hello. L, hi, Skylar. Please hit the like for DD and thank you for the support comment. L, Skylar is my sons for those who don't know. Got it. Thank you so much, Skylar. Appreciate you, my friend. Skylar, hello there, Carol. Virginia, good morning, Annie. Sky, I did L 1985. L, thanks, Sky. Annie, hi, Virginia. Good morning. Carol, oh, okay, thank you. Doug, well, if someone took the phone to mimic Nolan being alive and have keys, can't admit to the keys, that leads to the phone. The keys, in my opinion, got someone caught lying. That's a good thought there, Doug, without a doubt. April, good to see you, Skylar. Doug, today is actually first I have of this story. So all of this top of my head, I may have details misconstrued. You're right. You're right on the money, Doug. You're right on the money. No worries. Virginia, hello, Sky. Welcome in. Sky, hello, April. Bible, Skylar. Sky, hello, Virginia. Jean, hello, Sky. Sky, hello, Jean. Great to be here. Awesome to have you, Sky. So it's trying to figure out what and who did what. What was done, who did what, right? Who's not telling the truth? Is it Katie? Is it Katie McCormick? Is it, for a better lack of words, is it oh, what the hell was his name? God, Lee, it's pretty bad. Can't even think of his name. Is it going to be Shepard? Is he the one not telling the truth? I think as time goes, you're going to get more people that are going to come forward because this kid, Nolan, was a young man that everybody really liked. Everybody, at least from everything I have read and heard, a lot of people liked this kid. Didn't matter what color they were, they liked this kid, you know. And I can tell you that it is very possible that someone's going to come forward with the video or something else to justify what really happened. And when that happens, then the tides will turn one way or the other. Sky, my mother is a great person. She's doing so well. She's doing great. Love having her here, Sky. Your mother is amazing. Thank you so much. There's only one reason to lie about the keys: guilt, unless somebody else planted the keys. Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm thinking more on the first part of that, Doug, because, yeah, I don't think anybody planted. I think that person had the keys. What I want to know was what person had the phone. No one has talked about who was the one that had the phone. They said they got the phone back. I'm going to think and assume that it's Warren, but I'm not sure 100%. But I would like to know who had that phone because that could speak volume. Thanks, everybody, for welcoming him in. Love you, Scholar. April, that kid with the keys is lying, but too many names, laughing out loud. Without a doubt, there is a lot of names, April. Oh, I don't think that the girl is responsible, in my opinion. Yeah, and what do you mean when you say that, El? What do you mean when you say I don't think? Because I want to make sure I understand exactly where you're going. I don't think the girl is responsible. You mean like she is not? She may not be having telling the truth, or do you think that she's just trying to cover her own CYA? What do you mean, Al? Tell me, because I really want to know which way you're going, because you could read that in so many different ways. Tusi, I am confused after the pool party picture, so Nolan was alive after the 4th. According to what they're saying and what I'm hearing and what we just heard, that's what it appears. Doug, I'll be whoever had the keys had the phone. That would make sense. That would definitely make sense, Doug. Thank you. April, Doug, I agree. Gene, Doug, I also agree with you. Al, I just don't think she did anything to him. No, I don't think she did anything to him, without a doubt. I believe she is likely telling the truth from what she knows. Absolutely. Okay, I see where you're going. That's a very good point. Because I don't think she did anything to him to hurt him. I think, if anything, maybe somebody else did something to hurt him out of jealousy, maybe. I still think that's got to be the number one motive is jealousy, um, because they didn't like he was talking to her. That's a very good possibility, in my opinion. Gene, Doug, I also agree with you. Doug, two different people have items pointing to conclusion, in my opinion. Person points to cover up. But here's the thing. My only thing with having both of those is why would, and hear me on this, why, when Warren called the mom and told him about if her son had made it yet at 11:30, the thing that comes to my mind is, okay, the friend of the son who was really good friends, Javon Williams, who was really good friends, really, I mean, tight friends with Wells, her mom went and picked that phone up. If the same person had the keys, why didn't they give him the keys and the phone? Why did they just give the phone? That's what's making me ask the question, who had the phone, who had the keys? Because if the same person, which is logical, the same person would have had them both, but in the same token, why didn't they give the lady, the lady friend of Wells's mom, why didn't they just go ahead and give her the phone and the keys when she went there to get them? That's what's not making sense to me. Agree, April. I'm getting lost with all these names. I need a pen and paper to this one now. April, Virginia, I hear you. Virginia, jealousy. It is. Agree. Barney whips out my crayons for note taking. Carol, Barney, April. I'm confused between the girl and on the island and the girl giving info to the dad about the keys. Barney laughing out loud. Sky, look at this case. This is a very sad. Hope we can figure it out. This case soon, and let the boy rest peacefully. Without a doubt. Well said, Sky. Very well said, my friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? If we're saying that the person who has the keys also had the phone, and we know that Wells's mom had her friend go get that phone, why did they just give him the keys then? Why did they just give him the phone and not the keys if it's the same person who had both items? I'm thinking one had the keys that were on the boat and one had the phone. Do you understand what I'm saying, or am I not saying it right? Amen, Scholar. Gene, April, I see why you are confused because I am also. I mean, you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Tell me you do, please. I don't want to sound like RN. Please tell me you know how to decipher what I'm saying. Go 3 up, 2 to the right, 1 down, and go diagonally and tell me yes. It spells yes, I understand. The person who had the keys holds the key, in my opinion, to solving this case. The person who has the key. L, yes. So the question is, the mom said in an interview the girl was there, but which girl? Virginia, Barney, absolutely. So is it logical to think that one person had both the keys and the phone? Because the mom picked up the phone, or the mom's friend picked up the phone, but not the keys. And then later, the dad goes up and picks up the keys after being told by a girl that he has the keys. My question is, how do those two correspond? Why didn't they get them? Why didn't they give it to them both at the same time? Doug says, Sky says, I shall take my leave now. I hope everyone has a good day and let's keep looking for answers. Have a great day, everyone. You got it, Scholar. Thank you for being here, my friend. Great having you. Doug, exactly. Collusion with two people having different items. If one person had both, it's a cover up. L, not RN. Hands out, crayons to everyone here, laughing out loud. Doug, unless it was a setup. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. April, thank you. Miss Barney, hope it's a big box. Tusi, well said. Tusi says, so if the pool party pictures are true, maybe a fight happened at the pool and Nolan was beaten up, but enough to walk. And the guys went back on the boat and dumped Nolan's body in the water. It's a good thought, Tusi. Good thought. That's a really good point. L. Skyler, thanks for joining and supporting the channel. Look into more because we will love to hear your thoughts. Amen. Without a doubt, L. Well said. Barney, parents may not have given keys a thought at the time when phone was picked up. That's very possible. That's a very good point too, Barney. CB's in the house. Good to have you, CB. Good morning, friends. Welcome in. This case is so out there. Good morning, CB. So where are we at now? So are you guys still at it that this is one girl says he got the boat, says he got on the boat. Another girl tells parent where keys are. I can't get past that. I mean, is it the same girl? You know, we know that it's not the girl that's the girlfriend of the other guy named Shepard because he said that Nolan that Wells did not know her at all, that he met her for the first time there, which means he would have not known who she was. Who is the girl who wasn't at the party but was pinged on island, then turned off notifications, but her friend still had tracking and put Mr. Girl on the island? Very strange. You had me at hello there, Doug. Doug, like who is here? I'm getting confused. It's just we don't know who the girl is who told the dad about the keys. So let's exclude that girl from the equation. The only girl we're talking about is Katie McCormick. She is the girl that was talking to Nolan. She is the one who has said she saw Nolan leave and get onto the boat with the three other friends. That's coming from her. The other girl that told the dad that the individual had the keys, we don't know her name. We don't know how she knows. I think, well, we do know how she knows because she said when the dad went to get them and the person said he didn't have them, he called back the girl and asked her, and she said he is lying. I saw the keys at his house. So we know she's claiming she was at his house and saw the keys there. So it's definitely going to be two different girls in this case. Did that help any? That would be fitting, in my opinion, if I only believe me. April, no, I want to know, Didi. I don't know who that lady is, the young girl is. I don't know who she. Look, she obviously has to be maybe the girlfriend of the person who had the keys. And the reason I say that, or she had to be someone close because Who else is going to be in his bedroom where she saw the keys on top of the console? Who else is going to be in the bedroom but possibly his girlfriend, or all in their 19 and 20-year-old age? They weren't like, 30 some years old. They were all literally in the same age bracket. They all went to school together. So it is very possible that this girl is the girlfriend of the person who had the keys. We just don't know for sure because that's never been brought out. Gene, Doug, I'm not the only one confused. I'm completely baffled. Doug, I'm going to find out. It looks like Fugitive TV has an inside scoop. Going there next to watch Tay's video. Well, if anything, nothing happens bad. Why didn't they tell the truth? Because now it all looks dirty. My idea, it was jealousy, and that's what happened. I can agree with that. Makes a lot of sense, Annie. Makes a lot of sense. Barney, so let's refer as girl number two. Okay, she's the girl number two, is the one about telling the dad about the phone. Girl number one is the one that was talking to Nolan, the son. Sounds good to me. Doug, yeah, but who is jealous of who? And the hits keep coming. April says, but Miss Barney, who is number one and who is number two? Doug says maybe it's the Loch Ness. I'm assuming that's the Loch Ness monster. Virginia, Annie, 100%. This has been a very interesting case because getting information, it's not like it's set in stone per se. All right, let me do this. And let me say this. Alicia Cam has just sent some gifts. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate you being here. And thank you so much for always supporting the channel, my friend. Sent the marshmallow 100 joules. Thank you. Appreciate you. So let's backtrack a little bit here, okay? Let's backtrack a little bit here. Nolan's talking. Nolan is Wells. Nolan Wells, okay? He came over with 3 of his friends on the pontoon boat to the island, Horn Island. Okay, we're gonna do this now. Howdy, Dee and Chad. Good to have you. Now they get to Horn Island. They're having a party. They're celebrating 4th of July, whatever. At 4:30, they get ready to leave. At that time, Wells is speaking to a girl by the name of Katie McCormick. And he just met her there. And he's talking to her there. And kind of likes her. According to his friends, he didn't even know her, but they got to talking and they really liked one another. Or he liked her. The guys start getting ready to go back, and it's about 4:30. They're going back. But they're claiming that Nolan did not go back with them, that he stayed to talk to the girl. The girl is stating, Katie McCormick is stating, no, he left. I watched him run and get on the boat. That's where we're at. So now we have to figure out, or they have to figure out, did he get on the boat or did he not? Who's telling the truth? That's where we're at with this McCormick. Now, push McCormick aside. Push McCormick aside. Okay? Now let's go to that early morning when the phone call was made. Warren calls Warren, the other friend who came with Nolan. He calls if Nolan had arrived home, and this was at about 11:30 at night. I don't know what the mom says. I'm sure she says no. She then waits a little bit, and it's 11:30 at night, so you're probably figuring early in the morning, calls the police and files a missing persons report. They then go searching. They search and search until they finally find him. They find Nolan Wells unalive, floating in the water. We got that established, right? Okay. Now, as everything is unfolding, at no time is anything else really being said, except there's a kid that went missing who was found unalive at Horn Island. Now, all of a sudden, the mom and them are trying to figure out, the mom and her friend is trying to figure out how to find Nolan's phone. She must have been calling him quite a bit to see where he was at. So they find and get a ping, and the ping comes back to one of the individuals who was on the boat. So the friend tells the mom, do you want me to go over there and get it? And she says, yes. So she goes over. The mom's friend goes over and gets the phone, comes back. They go through the phone. They see that there is things that are missing, like Snapchat, videos. They see that there's things missing, like Instagram videos and pictures and whatnot. To them, that's odd because that's not like what their kid would do. Their kid normally has a lot of videos in his Snapchat. Okay, we're at that point now. Later, there's what we'll call girl number 2, mysterious girl. We don't know her name. She tells the dad, calls the dad and tells him that the keys to Nolan's car is with this individual. Whoever that individual is, we don't know because they didn't release the name. The dad then goes ahead and goes to the house and asks the kid for the keys. The kid tells him, no, I don't have them. The dad goes away from the house, calls the girl and says he's saying that he doesn't have his keys. The girl tells him he's lying. I was there. I seen him with the keys. It's on his console. Dad goes back. Kid comes down. Dad tells the kid, hey, keys might be on your console. Can you please check? Kid goes up, gets the keys, gives them to the dad. Now the dad has the keys. We don't have the name of that second girl who gave that information to the dad. Okay? You're there with me. So now as the investigation is going on, there is a YouTube that is being shared, a video that everyone, even myself and everyone, even the law enforcement, believes it probably is Nolan Wells having an argument saying that what are you doing with my phone? Give me my freaking phone back. Everybody assumes that was an altercation because that's what they said. However, now Shepard, who was the other kid that was on the boat, comes out and says, literally on GMA, that Nolan was never on the boat when they left Horn Island at about 4:30. He says that they didn't leave. Okay? So he says he never left. He was talking to this girl. But we already know that the girl said that no, he left and I saw him get on the boat. So one of them is not telling the truth. On top of that, now Shields also comes out and says the guy who was yelling about give me my freaking phone, he says is not Nolan, that it's him. Him. He's the one that's yelling, give me that damn phone. Give me my freaking phone back. What are you doing? Follow me? That's where we are at. So really, the only thing we really don't know is who's that second girl that told the dad about the keys. We don't know who that is. Was it McCormick? Was it Katie? I don't know. Because they never gave that name. That's where we're at. Now they're seeing, there's another video out there that the attorney has put out that is on the 5th, and it's at a pool party, indoor pool party. It's an indoor pool, which probably I would assume is either at someone's house, hotel, or something. And it shows what looks to appear to be him. I don't know if it's him, but it's what they're saying. So he was still alive during that time, is what they're trying to say. This is on the 5th. That's where we're at. So did he become unalive at that pool, if that was him, or did he become unalive that night or that night when he was on Horn Island? We don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. All right, everybody, let me read all your comments. Alicia, howdy, DD and Chad. April, thank you. Alicia, Virginia, back up. I am lost to witches 1 and 2. One is Katie McCormick, the one who was talking to literally Wells. The number 2 is the one that told the dad, because we don't have a name as to who had the keys to Nolan's car. Alicia, hello, and thank you for supporting the channel. Carol, hello, Alicia. April, back up in progress. Beep, beep, beep. Doug, so was Shep actually also into girl number 2? Girl number 2 is the one that told the dad about the keys. Girl number 1 is the one that was talking with Nolan Wells. I have no idea if Shep was into number 2 or not. Was they who she's girlfriends who may be talking to? She took his phone and wouldn't give it back, so everyone is jealous of everyone. Lisa, with the horrors. Keshi here. Good to have you, Keshi. Kesha here. Thank you for being here. What up? What up? What up? We are trying to brainstorm the case dealing with Nolan Wells. Nolan Xavier Wells from Mississippi being unalive, found unalive in the water. Alicia, hey, Carol, analyze Doug. Hello. Good to see you. Alicia, you too, Doug. L, hi, Kesha. Doug, was there even a boat to get on? Apparently, girl number 1 that was talking to Wells said she saw him, being Wells, go to the boat and saw him on that boat as they left. April, Doug, Keisha here. You all, L1985, salute to DA Maz, without a doubt. Thank you, Kesha. Carol, hello, Kesha. Kesha L. Carol, salute to the mods. April, Kesha, thank you. Good to have you here. Another salute to the mods, says Kesha. Doug, or was girl number 2 talking to Shep and Nolan, but she had a boyfriend or someone who would be home jealous, a third part? No clue, Doug. No clue on that one. Kesha, I assume the host is a Marine, of course. You see it in the background. That is a Marine. Thank you for asking. Kesha, I assume. April, yes, Kesha, former Marine and law enforcement. L, Kesha, he is a retired Marine and law enforcement, yes. Annie, yes, and a great one. Thank you, Annie. Doug, Devil Dog is a decorator of this guy. Thank you, Doug. Kesha, nice one. Gene, hopefully the autopsy will tell us more if they release it. Well said, Gene. Well said. Doug, honestly, surprised DD and Kevin haven't crossed paths, both Marines and great people. Thank you so much, Doug. Appreciate that. Not really know who Kevin is or what his channel is, but thank you so much. Bible, the only thing I know for sure is the girl who told the dad where the keys were has a lot of integrity and conviction, without a doubt, Bible, from A to Z, without a doubt. Well said. Carol, DD is a retired police officer too, says Carol. Annie, I believe, Hornish Island. Gene, Doug, good point. Doug, pool water is different from lake water. Autopsy will reveal the facts. Virginia, DD, can you please repeat? Laughing out loud. Just kidding. Oh, Lord. Annie, Doug, good point. Tusi, if it's Nolan at the pool party, why did a friend call the police at 11 p.m. and report Nolan missing? Well, it was his mom that called. It was his mom, Tushi, that called the police to tell that her son was missing. But that is a good point. Why would he be worried? Well, he would be worried because he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Remember, okay, so let's stop here for a minute. Tusi, if Nolan is at the pool party, why did the friend call the police? The friend did not call the police. It was the mom that called the police after she got a phone call from Warren asking her if Nolan had arrived home. Now, Nolan would know that he was probably at a pool inland because of the fact that he had already left at 4:30 earlier that day. So he didn't know what literally Nolan was doing. He wouldn't know what he's doing. You understand what I'm saying? So the idea is that there's no way that this individual would know what Nolan did because he left at 4:30, which begs the question: who's telling the truth? Katie McCormick, who was talking with Nolan at Horn Island before he went to the boat and left with the friends, or Shepard, who says Nolan never got on the boat. That's the kicker. Doug, that's true 100%. Tusi, Doug, good point. Doug said there could be two jealous girls taking dudes' phones. Can be both true at the same time. Well said, Doug. Well said. Doug, true. Tusi, Doug, good point. Doug, Captain Kevman. April, mother said he stayed with a friend that night before this happened. That is correct. He stayed overnight there. Are we all like now we all caught up, right? We know where we're at. Hopefully that broke it down a little bit. So the girl number one is Katie McCormick, who was talking with Wells, Nolan Wells. Girl number two, who we don't know her name, is the one that told the dad about the keys being at one of the boys that was on the boat at his house on top of the council. Where are we at now? So now it begs to ask the question, who is not telling the truth? Is it Katie McCormick or is it Shepard? Shepard is a friend. There was three friends on the boat with Nolan. Is it Shepard that's not telling the truth that he got on the boat because he's saying he didn't, never got on the boat? Or is it McCormick who's saying and not being truthful? Tushi, thank you, DD. You very welcome. No worries. It seems like all the girls like Nolan. Just saying. Well, I mean, he is a star athlete from that school. That usually bodes well for a young man. He's playing college football. That usually bodes well with a young man. So I would assume that he was very well liked by everybody. So I'm sure a lot of people liked him because he was just a nice guy. Any Bible, you never know. So now the idea is, who really did this? And I believe that it's going to take those videos and people to go ahead. It's going to take people to go ahead and start giving information from their phones, from their videos, as to maybe showing somebody took a video of the three friends leaving, and the video will show that maybe Nolan Wells wasn't on the boat. Or maybe somebody will take the video showing that as that boat is leaving with the three friends, that Nolan is on the boat. There's going to be people that have it because a lot of people were recording a lot of stuff out there. Kesha here. That's what I heard, Panda. Annie 8575. How awful. Bible. Annie. Yep. Anything is possible. Barney. Dog. See my above question. Barney. See my above question. Where you at, Barney? Okay. Do we know which kid is allegedly related to the judge? I have not been able to find that. The judge in question is has her son was on the boat, literally was on the boat with Nolan Wells. So there is a person. Let me see. Let me ask. Let me ask real quick. Hang on. Who was Judge Ashley Cole? So it was Judge Ashley Cole is the judge. Judge Ashley Cole. She was the judge in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. Annie, yep, anything is possible. Bible Didi, one of the boys on the boat could have been in love with him and jealous of him with the girl. That's possible. That's very possible. Kesha here. We all know that the kid just drowned, but that's not a good enough story. No, we don't know that he just drowned, Kesha here. We all know the kid. We don't know anything of whether he drowned or someone unalived him. That's the whole point. April, oh my God, Panda, that's terrible. Doug, this will be solved. This will be solved. The devil's in the details. Autopsy will bring clairvoyance in in my opinion, like always, waiting for the science. Absolutely. April L, please like and share the stream. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for being here today, Doug. Manner and means foul play, accident, or homicide. Exactly. Well said, Doug. So now that we know it was Judge Cole, okay, it was Judge Cole is the judge. Okay, so the son is Warren Hudson. All right, so Judge Ashley Cole is the judge in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. She is the judge. Okay, and her son is Warren Hudson. That is her son, Warren Hudson. Warren Hudson is her son. He was the person. He is the one that called Nolan's mom at 11:30 and asked her if her son had come back, had made it back. Okay, that was Warren Hudson. Okay, his mom is the Jackson, Mississippi judge, for whoever asked that question earlier. So now we really have all three names. All three names of the individuals that were on the boat. That is interesting. So we have all three names of the people that were on the boat. That's what we have, everybody. L, please like and share the stream. Doug, manner and means foul play. Doug, I'm following on Shep, the boat owner with the keys and different stories. Everything points back to Shep, in my opinion. Very possible. Warren Hudson is the judge's son. Keisha here. All three. There are more than three on a boat. No, there's only three plus Nolan. That would have made four. That was it. No confusion here. Barney, I am glad we finished out the details. Layla, hello. Welcome in, Layla. Hi, Layla. Keisha, yeah, all his friends got jealous and decided to hold him underwater. No, I don't know why you're talking like that because no one's saying that. Doug, Shep has means and motives and lies. April, accidental drownings happen a lot. Sad to say, no one gets charged. What are they hiding? Without a doubt, well said, April. Well said. See, the whole point here is just trying to figure out the stories and the integral parts of what makes it and who says who did what or who said what and who we were talking about. That's what it's all about. All right, moving on along. Shep has means and motives. I just can't get over how often this type of incident has been taking place lately. So many copycats of unaliving, without a doubt. Without a doubt. The idea is that trying to figure this out with not all the information is very difficult. Hell, I think we've done well. We have literally done well. Took us some time to get there, but we done well. Hell, I just can't get over Carol Burton with the cookies. Doug, Jesus, very specific and graphic, Panda. Where were you there? She wasn't there and she's no longer here. So, yeah. Yeah. Moving right along, everybody. Moving right along. All right, everybody. We are at that hour mark. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all. Thank you for all the gifts that you guys gave and the support. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your insights and your expertise and telling what happened. What do you think? Your opinions. These are all just opinions. Also, thank you, mods, for everything you guys do. You guys do an amazing job, and I want to thank you. Always remember, we'll figure it out because that's what we do. Like everyone else, we try to figure it out because it's all common sense, everybody. It is all common sense. No, you're good. You're good, Doug. Absolutely. This was a great conversation. This was a great conversation. The idea that we're trying to figure out someone deserves answers, and I think the family deserves answers. The family deserves answers. Just like if it was our kid, we'd want those answers, right? And we won't wait for anything less but those answers. Barney, thank you, dog. You got it, Barney. CB, thank you, mods. And I keep losing signal, so I have some catching up to do. L, have a great day, everyone. Virginia, thank you, DD. Another great, and see you at 5. You got it, Virginia. Everybody, thank you once again. God bless you and appreciate every one of you. And I will see you at 5. With that, Semper Fi, everybody. It's all common sense. It's all common sense. God bless. Thank you all.